Hello, good day. This is Mom Lordiza. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we will be learning how the selection may be influenced by culture, history, environment, and other factors. Are you ready to learn with me? Then if you are, stay on my video. In this lesson, will help you understand the significant influence of culture, history, environment, and our other important factors in reading a text or selection. The activities will guide you herein to comprehend fully why some selections are influenced by culture, history, environment, and our other important factors. We have here the objectives. The first objectives for this lesson is define the terms culture, history, and environment. The second is identify details from the selection that show the influence of culture, history, and environment. And lastly, express ideas about the importance of knowing one's culture, history, environment, and other identified factors that affect the Filipino people's lives. Study the details and identify the ideas that each picture shows and conveys. So here is our first picture or picture A, our picture B, and our picture C. Tandaan po natin ang ating mga pictures because later on we will have some question for you to answer. Here is our first question. Which picture shows the spirit of communal unity and cooperation of the Filipino people? Picture A, picture B, or picture C? 5 seconds to answer. Okay, so your answer is picture? Very good. It's picture C. Ito po ang ating pictures. Now let's proceed to the next question. Next question is which picture shows that the life of Filipino people is simple and peaceful? Picture A, picture B, or picture C? 5 seconds to answer. Alright, so your answer is picture? You're correct. It's picture C. Number 3. Which picture shows that the Philippines has a great history about the death of a Filipino who brought change and reformation in the country? Picture A, picture B, or picture C? What is your guess? 5 seconds. Alright, so it's in the picture C. Very good. So you have really a great ideas. You learn many things through reading, listening, and watching. The information you gain, and at least or at most, may influence your perception in life as well as your everyday activities. This information, which can be a theme or a topic of a text, may be about culture, history, or environment and other factors that affect people's lives. Moreover, what you have learned from what you have read, heard, and watched will help you understand cultural values, historical perspectives, and environment impact and other significant contexts that are part of your experiences every day. After evaluating the material, you will realize that what is in the content is real. Now let us define the word culture. Culture is simply a complex of features held by a social group, which may be as small as a family or a tribe, as large as a racial or ethnical group. a nation, or in the age of globalization, by people all over the world. Culture has been called the way of life for an entire society. Yes, it is. It includes codes of manners, dress, language, religion, rituals, norms of behavior such as law and morality, and belief systems. However, culture is not fixed or static. Rather, it involves a dynamic process as people respond to changing conditions and challenges. History. This is a study of the past. History also includes the academic discipline that uses a narrative to describe, examine, question, and analyze a sequence of past events and investigate the patterns of cause and effect related to them. History provides us a sense of identity. By understanding where we have came from, we can better understand who we are. Through history provides a sense of context of our lives and or existence. It helps us understand the way things are and how we might approach the future. An environment. This is a place where different things, living or non-living, constantly interact with and adapt to conditions in the environment. A person's environment is the event and the culture that the person lives in. The environment is everything around us. A person's belief and action depends on his environment. The importance of knowing the Filipino culture, history, and environment. Why we need to know or bakit pa natin kailangan malaman ang importansya ng kultura ng Pilipino, ang ating pinanggalingan, at ang environment natin. Una is, we get to understand the people and the world better upang mas malaman pa natin ang ating mga kapwa Pilipino, right? And of course, ang ating sarili na din. It helps us understand ourselves. Knowledge of own culture is increased. If alam natin kung saan tayo nanggaling, ito ay isang paraan para mas ma-appreciate pa natin ang ating kultura. It helps us overcome and prevent racial and ethnical division. We get exposure to new experiences. We became more prepared to cope with the ever-changing world. And lastly, it helps us develop a new level of appreciation just about everything. So those are the importance of knowing or bakit natin mas kilalanin pa ang kultura at ang ating pinanggalingan at ng ating environment bilang isang Pilipino. Be proud. I have here a short passage from Nick Joaquin entitled A Heritage of a Smallness. By the way, si Nick Joaquin po, siya po ay isang Pilipinong manunulat. Ang kanyang naisulat po na ito ay patungkol sa Pilipino. Society for the Filipino is a small rowboat, the barangay. Geography for the Filipino is a small locality, the barrio. History for the Filipino is a small vag saying matanda pa kay Mahoma noong peacetime. Enterprise for the Filipino is a small stall, the sari-sari. Industry and production for the Filipino is a small immediate scratching for each day. Isang kahig, isang tuka. And commerce for the Filipino is the smallest degree of retail, the tingi-tingi. What most astonished foreigners in the Philippines is that this is the country, perhaps the only one in the world, where people buy and sell one stick of cigarette, half a head of garlic, a dab of pomade, part of the contents of a can or bottle, one single egg, one single banana. To foreigners used to buying things by the carton or the dozens or pound and in the large economy sizes, the explicit transactions of Philippine tingis cannot but seem Liliputian. So much effort by so many for so little. Like all those children risking neck and limb in the traffic to sell one stick of cigarette at a time. For those grown-up men hunting the sidewalks all day to sell a puppy or a lantern or a pair of socks. The amount of effort they spend seems out of all proportion to the returns. Such folk are obviously not enough. Laboriousness just can never be the equal of labor as skill, labor as audacity, labor as enterprise. The Filipino who travels abroad gets to thinking that he's in the hardest working country in the world. By 6 or 7 in the morning, we are already up and on our way to work. Shops and markets are open. The wheels of industry are already grind. In abroad, especially in the West, if you go out at 7 in the morning, you are in a dead town. Everybody's still in the bed. Everything's still closed up. Activities doesn't begin till 9 or cease promptly at 5 p.m. By 6, the business section are dead towns again. The entire cities go to sleep on weekends. They have a shorter working day, a shorter working week, yet they pile up more mild age than we who work all day and all week. Alright, so we're going to answer the questions based from the passage that you have heard earlier. So the first question is, what idea about the Filipinos can drone or extract from the text? A. Foreigners belittle Filipinos for working so hard yet getting too little from their work. B. Filipinos are hardworking and are compensated accordingly. C. Filipinos are hardworking but not compensated for their efforts. Or D. Filipinos are not indolent but not being ones not enough. So, there is a need to balance hard work and productivity. 5 seconds to answer. Okay, so your answer is letter? Alright, it's letter C. Filipinos are hardworking but not compensated their efforts. As in the passage states that Filipinos are really hardworking but they get not enough compensated. Right? So, tayong mga Pilipino ay malikhang hardworking. That's it. So, next question is number 2. What does the text tell about the life of Filipinos in the Philippines? A. Life is challenging. B. Life is easy. C. Life is informal. And D. Life is stress-free. A, B, C, or D. 5 seconds to answer. Alright, so the answer is life is very challenging. Indeed, talaga namang napaka-challenging ang ating life. May mga ups and downs, especially in overcoming our problems. Tama. Number 3 question. Which statement from the text or passage show that the influence of culture? A. Filipino who travel abroad gets to thinking that he is the hardest working country in the world. Laboriousness can never be an equal of a labor as skill, a labor as audacity, labor as an enterprise. Or C, industry and production of the Filipino are the small immediate scratching of each day, isang kahig, isang tuka. D, the entire cities go to sleep on weekends. 5 seconds. Alright, so the answer is obviously industry and production of the Filipino are small immediate scratching of each day, isang kahig, isang tuka. Alright. Number 4 question. Which statement from the text or passage talks about history? A. They have a shorter working day, a shorter working week. B. History for the Filipino is a small vague saying matanda pa kay Mahoma noong peacetime. C. So much effort by so many for so little. D. The Filipino who travels abroad gets to thinking that this is the hardest working country in the world. You have 5 seconds to answer. Okay, the answer is that. Number 5 question. Which statement from the text or passage demonstrates a situation in an environment? A. Society for the Filipino is a small rowboat, the barangay. B. Like all those children risking neck and limb in the traffic to sell one stick of cigarette at a time. C. Geography for Filipino is a small locality called the barrio. Or D. Abroad, they have a shorter working day and a shorter working week. 5 seconds to answer. Right, so your answer is letter? Yes, like all those children risking neck and limb in the traffic to sell one stick of cigarette at a time. So I have here a sentences in this corner. So out from the statement or the sentences, if you think the statement is correct, you just guess it if it is correct or if it is incorrect. Right? So ready? Alright. First sentence, culture has been called the way of life for an entire society. Correct or incorrect? Yes, correct. Culture has been called the way of life and the entire society. That's our identity, right? Next sentence. Knowing our culture helps us to value and respect our differences. Correct or incorrect? Yes, obviously, it's correct. Knowing our culture really helps us to value and respect our differences. If alam natin yung kultura ng ibang tao na ganito pala sila, ganito ang kanilang culture, and from there, we will learn to respect their culture or our own differences. Tama. Next sentence is, history provides us with a sense of identity by understanding where we have come from, and we can better understand who we are. Smiley or sad? Correct or incorrect? Yes, it is correct. History provides us the sense of identity. Kung alam natin kung saan tayo galing, ay mas lalo nating maintindihan ang ating sarili. Tama? Yes, and that's very, very true. Next sentence. The environment can influence people's behavior and motivation to act. Correct or incorrect? Your answer is very good. It's correct. Ang environment naman talaga ay may malaking influence sa mga tao, sa behavior ng tao, at sa motivation nito, ang kanyang action. Right? So, next sentence. The environment plays a crucial role in people's physical, mental, and social well-being. Correct or incorrect? Yes, it is correct. The environment plays a crucial role in people's physical, mental, and social well-being. At talaga namang napaka-impluwensya ang ating environment sa ating sarili, sa ating pananamit, sa the way how we speak, the way how we socialize ay nakakadepende sa ating environment kung kanino tayo nakikipaghalobelo, no? So that's it. Thank you for that answer of yours. Okay, so here is the last activity for this lesson. Directions. Evaluate the selection read. Check the sentences that state correctly about the characteristics of the Filipinos as described in the text. So, characteristics, ito yung katangian ng Pilipino. You just have to put check if you think it is the characteristic of a Filipino and X if it is not. So we're going to answer it together. The first sentence, the Filipino cannot be compared to anything. Ang Pilipino ay hindi makompare kanino man o ano man. Check or wrong? Yes! Tayong mga Pilipino ay hindi makukumpara sa anuman. No? Next is we have Filipinos bend and sway just like the bamboo when there are problems but remain standing after. Check or wrong? Very good. Tayong mga Pilipino ay matatag na hinaharap ang ating mga problema at still nakatayo tayo facing our problem and to solve that problem or even issues in our life. Next is, Filipinos are submissive but know when to act fight. X or wrong? Okay, alam nating mga Pilipino kung kailan tayo mag-fight back. Ating action, no? So, next is, they never learn to fight for their freedom. Check or wrong? Obviously, it's not. Right? We have our own freedom, Filipino. They never learn, it state here, they never learn to fight for their freedom. But we learn to fight for our freedom now. Because we are born equal, even men and women nowadays. Next sentence is, they are dependent on the other races. Check or wrong? The answer is yes. No, we are not dependent with the other races. We have our own and to fight back. 6 is the Filipinos were once ruled by foreign conquerors. Yes, tayo po ay naging or na-ruled ng ibang foreigner. It have mentioned in our history na mga Americans, Spaniards, and all. So, number 7 is they are friendly and a good communicators. Filipino, are we? Check or wrong? Yes, that's very obvious to us. Kilala tayo bilang isang napaka-friendly and good communicator. That's it. So, you have answered it correct. All right, thank you so much for a very wonderful, comprehensive interaction with you for answering the activities earlier in this video. And for that, I will be leaving a task for you. You are going to answer this one. What specific Filipino characteristics are you proud of and why? So, ano yung mga katangian mo bilang isang Pilipino na sa tingin mo ito ay nakaka-proud or you are proud of it at bakit? So you may answer that one in the comment box section and I'm going to read it if you're really a proud Filipino. Okay? If it is okay with you, and again, once again, thank you so much for having or viewing this lesson. Have a good day.